Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to review the Cort CR or Classic Rock 300. Let's do it. I've got to start off the video just by saying I am a massive Cort fan. I have a number of Cort guitars in my guitar collection, and I've got to say the quality of their guitars, their own brand guitars, is incredible. Now we have to, as a guitar community, stop being headstock snobs, because Cort Guitars makes the guitars for some of our most favorite guitar companies out there, and we just don't even know it, right? They manufacture for a lot of the third-party guitars that we love. And why is it when they release guitars under their own brand, do we kind of ignore them? And it's completely wrong. And I'm here to tell you that the Cort CR300 is an absolute bargain, and it's a beast of a guitar. So let's get into it. Before we get started with the actual nitty-gritty of the guitar, we just need to talk 2 seconds about Cort, the company, and take a little trip down memory lane. Cort was founded in 1960, originally as a piano importer. Then, by the mid-70s, it started manufacturing guitars. In 1983, Cort started producing its first own brand guitars. Although there has been a number of controversies over the years, because as is expected when you have manufacturers in the Far East, you'll always have questions about employment, about their normal practices, etc. But Cort has been one of those companies that, as a manufacturer for third-party brands, have consistently produced some of the best Far East guitars out there, and also with their own name, they have been really overachieving in terms of the quality and the price of the products that they provide. Let's talk about the CR300. This guitar, if you are in the market for a single cut guitar and you're looking at the sub $500 price range, this is an absolute steal. A main feature of this guitar is it has a real premium 15mm maple cap. You have a full mahogany body with a proper maple cap, so none of that cheap veneer or photo finish or whatever other magic they do to avoid having the cost of putting a maple cap. This is a proper maple cap, so it has that sparkle, it has that shine to the notes that you only get when you put a maple cap on top of a full mahogany body. The neck is also made of mahogany, and this model has a satin neck, which is incredibly beautiful. Then you have a Jatoba 22 frets fretboard, and let's just stop here a second and say this neck is unbelievable. So Fender, Gibson, whoever, Epiphone, maybe you might want to check how Cort makes these necks, because these neck is not only really comfortable and it's the perfect neck carve, it's a very fast, slim neck. The frets are incredibly well made. So they are very shiny. You don't get any of that grit kind of horrible feeling that you get on new guitars, but also they are rounded. There is absolutely no fret sprouts. They are not sharp at all, even in the little areas where you always get Gibson, Epiphone, and Fender cheap out here, where they kind of leave them very sharp. It's very well rounded, really great frets. The fret job is unbelievable. Pleased to report there's no random tool marks anywhere on the fretboard. Very good job there. Before we move down to one of its main features, we've got to say, Graphtec new bone nuts, always my favorite. Great tuning stability, vintage style tuners. Okay, they're not locking, but you know, This guitar, they were going for a very, very vintage look and sound. I'm perfectly happy with these. Are rock solid. They work very well. I've had no tuning issues. This guitar stays in tune. Yes, Gibson, this one actually does stay in tune. So whether it's the nut, the tuners, the neck angle, or the quality component down here, but it is a rock solid guitar that stays in tune and has no issues at all. So going down to the main attraction, the money shot for today. Yo, look, really nice zebra pickups. Slash would love these. But hang on, it says EMG. Whoa, cool. They couldn't be, could they? And yes, ladies and gentlemen, and bassists, they are. These are EMG RetroActive Fat 55 active pickups. So what you get is really high quality pickups from a massive brand like EMG. And EMG are obviously one of the main pickup manufacturers that have concentrated on active pickups and have developed the technology in terms of getting a varied sound out of active pickups. I originally always thought that active pickups were mainly for metal guitars. They were very high output and they were used in metal guitars. But really, EMG has a lot of pickups that are not metal and they're not super hot. They have tried to bring all the benefits of having an active pickup in terms of low impedance, in terms of noise cancellation. So all those benefits, but with a vintage varied sound. And this is exactly what the Fat 55 do. So what they do is they promise the traditional PAF sound just with the active pickup advantages. And on paper, sounds perfect, doesn't it? Really, really cool. So if this works, and we'll listen to it in a sec, this could be a real game changer. In terms of the rest of the appointments, you have very, very traditional Tune-O-Matic bridge, really solid, really nice, very well set up, and very traditional 2-volume, 2-tone. Again, no core split, no funky stuff, there's no messing around, it's just a traditional solid body single cut guitar. So there's no trying to mess up these pickups. These pickups can be split if you want, but the way the factory did it is very, very simple. Just before we move on to some of the final thoughts and why you should buy this guitar, I think it's really, really important to just take maybe a moment to compare this with what else is in the market at that sort of similar price range. So we are talking Sire, the Larry Carlton single cut. We're talking Epiphone. Epiphone has recently released a load of new models that even go over the $500 mark and with high specs. And then you have, slightly lower range, the Harley Benton single cuts with some of them with EMG pickups, some of them with Goto stuff. Those kind of guitars are all direct competitors to this. I've owned both the Harley Benton, the Sire guitars. I've owned a crap load of Epiphones. I've just got to say, this is way better. It is a way better feeling, a way better looking guitar, and it's a way better sounding guitar. The just fit and finish of this guitar is so much better than all those ones together. So if you just look at this specific Satin model here, obviously Cort has this same guitar, so the classic Rock 300, in different color variations. You can get the gloss top, and the gloss top, just for your information, doesn't have the EMGs, but it has Cort's own pickups, and you can get it in different colors, etc., etc. But this specific model that I have here is incredibly finished. There is absolutely no bad paint job. There is no problem. I've spent quite a long time looking for a paint defect, for a fault, for some sort of scratch, for anything. But I literally can't find it. Even in the areas where the cream binding joins the fretboard, nothing. And this, Harley Benton always make this mistake, is always where they kind of mess things up, and the cream binding all along is kind of always messed up and has little paint blotches on it. Epiphone as well, always do that. This finish is just incredible. It feels smooth. There is really no issue on the fretboard. The fret markers are in the middle and straight. That's always a good sign. And it just exudes quality. It just literally has a quality feel about it, which is so refreshing to see. You know, it's not like, okay, I don't really mind if there's a few scratches, but this one is just perfect. It's just really, really good. Look at the detail. The headstock is also satin. That's again another thing which, you know, you often miss out. Even the headstock shape, really, really nice. The kind of snot colored tuners, everything is done really, really well and is really well thought out. It's a perfectly balanced guitar. It's not too heavy, not too light. It's just a good, solid guitar. So if you're looking to buy some of those other brands like the Sire, they're all good guitars, the Epiphones, etc. But seriously, take a look at this one because you won't regret it. Okay, so overall, what are my thoughts? Well, maybe a bit useless to say now, but I've got to say this guitar really surprised me. The pickups by EMG sound outstanding. I really love the neck. The neck makes or breaks a guitar. I keep saying that and I'm boring. I'm sorry, but if the neck's not good, whatever you put down here doesn't work. It's a solid, beautiful guitar. It's a pro level instrument that you can get for under 500 bucks. Now, little disclaimer, I got this guitar at the incredible London Guitar Show that was at the end of October. And for the people out there in London, really great show. So you have to attend. So that show often has slight discounts on guitars, on both vintage and new guitars. So I got this at a slightly better price. But you know what? I would have paid full price for this. And you can often find good deals on these Cort guitars. I really don't understand why people look at this name on the headstock. What does it even matter? If you can get this incredible quality, which essentially is better than the guitars that this same company makes for a third party, why wouldn't you get this? It really is a thing that I always wonder about, is why are we so caught up on the name on the headstock? But anyways, there are literally no negatives on this guitar from my perspective. It's a great sounding guitar. It's a rock sounding guitar. I absolutely adore it. I think that recording wise, it records really well. The fact that you've got active pickups is actually a plus when you're recording and playing live, with gain or without gain, because it's silent. You have all the advantages of having an active pickup system, and it works really well in this guitar. So overall, I give this a 10 out of 10. It's been out for a long time, but I think this fit and finish is absolutely stunning. This is my recommended buy for 2023. The Cort Classic Rock series has been out, but the new ones are really level above anything else I've played in this price range, and even double the price range. Really, really well done, Cort. Amazing guitars. So I hope you found this useful. And as usual, guys, let me know what you think down below. You know, have you guys played Cort guitars? What do you think overall? And why are we such snobs on what it actually says on the headstock when these same guys make the guitars for everyone else? So, you know, it's one of those things that I just, you know, want to understand why we're so fixated on the name. Is it just because we want to look cool? But wouldn't we all look cooler if we had individual guitars like this? Anyways, just a thought. So as usual, please be happy, rock on, keep playing guitar, keep playing music, and be nice to each other. Peace, guys.